Hello, everyone. So there are now 413 days into the 2020 election, and what you see behind me, that is the moon. Sucks that it looks kind of like fuzzy to you guys. Like on my phone, it looks fuzzy, but in real life, it looks good. I just, I have a cheap phone, so it's not the greatest camera in the world. But it's not nighttime; it's morning time. The sun just hasn't came up yet fully. Actually, here, look, I'll turn around and you could kind of see the haze of the sun coming up a little bit. So yeah, sunrise is coming. It's only, I don't know, like 6:30 or so. Oh, hey, when I stop, it looks a little bit better. Anyhow, so yeah, 413 days into the 2020 election. I'm walking my dog right now in an open field, and I don't see my dog actually. But yeah, not a whole lot going on in politics. That's kind of the crappy thing about after a debate, or in between the debates is like not a whole lot to talk about. A couple days prior to any of the debates, it's like, okay, what's going to happen? What are they going to talk about? Who's going to mess up? Who's not going to mess up? And then obviously after the debate, it's like, okay, how did the candidates do? Who won? Who lost? All that kind of stuff. But after those initial couple days after the debate, or like I said, before the debate, then it's like, what do you talk about, And it's just about the candidates campaigning and, going from whatever state to state that they're going to go to. Oh, there's my dog. Okay, there she is. So yeah, not a whole lot going on. I still believe Tulsa's going to win in 2020. That hasn't changed. I hate how when I move, it gets all choppy. Like I said, just a cheap freaking camera. What are you going to do? One of these days I'll win the lottery and I'll get a good phone, huh? One of these days. But yeah, I still believe Tulsa is going to win. I haven't changed in that. Although, yeah, she didn't make the debate, but, the debates, some people don't seem to understand that being in the debates have nothing to do with whether someone can become president or not. All that is, these private companies, whether ABC, NBC, or Fox News, whatever, they hold debates. They decide who can go in the debate. They're like, oh, you have to be this popular, you have to have this many donors or whatever. But they're just private companies. That has nothing to do with who's actually going to be the president. That just comes down, to votes. All they're doing is basically helping these candidates get a little bit popular. It's like, hey, I have this big news network. I'm going to be holding this debate thing, so you can go in there, get your face on TV, and so people can see who you are, and so you can potentially get more votes. That's all it is. But so my point is, just because a person, say like Tulsi, doesn't go to the debate, doesn't mean that she has any more or less chance of becoming president. I mean, really, it all comes down to, whether you get votes. When that Iowa caucus comes to first votes, that's when things start rolling. See who's really in the lead, who's not in the lead, who's gonna, stay in the race, who's not gonna stay in the race. So anyhow, yeah, that's what's going on. Not a whole lot going on is what's going on. I really like the picture of the moon in the background. But in my support of Tulsi, I will say that I constantly question myself. I'm like, what if I'm wrong? What if I'm wrong that Tulsi is not gonna win? I'm like, okay, well, who is gonna win? Who really does have a chance of becoming next president? And I'm gonna tell you this. I always start in my thinking about who's gonna become president. I always start with the thought that someone is gonna become president, and it seems like that also passes people sometimes. That thought passes people sometimes. It's like, you got to understand, someone is going to win in 2020. I don't care whether it's Trump, Biden, Tulsi, me. You never know. The point is, it's not like, say there's an opening for a job somewhere. I don't know, Walmart, Taco Bell, wherever, right? They could say, okay, there's an opening, but it doesn't have to be filled on any certain date. It's not like, okay, I have this job opening for my business, and it's going to be, and it has to be filled on this date. That doesn't really happen with a lot of jobs, but with the president, it does. It's like, come, what is the inauguration date? January 20th, 2021. Someone has to get inaugurated. They don't care who it is. The law basically doesn't care who it is. Someone needs to be inaugurated on that day. Either we're gonna re-elect Trump, or like I said, gonna pick one of the candidates running, or some random citizen, anybody that, as long as they meet the qualifications, 35 and over, and all that kind of stuff. Someone's gonna get that position, okay? And so it's just a question of who, all right? And so I start with that in my head. I'm like, okay, someone's gonna win. Someone has to win, basically. Someone's going to be president. And also, very important, someone's going to become vice president. And in that part, you got to be careful who you're bashing on the debate stage. Like, say you support Kamala Harris, right? I want Kamala Harris to become president, right? And if you're focused on, oh, hey, Kamala Harris is great, you're telling people she's great, but at the same time, you're also bashing, say, all the other candidates, you got to be careful, because what if she needs to choose somebody as vice president, okay? And so you got to be careful bashing the other people, because what if one of those people is going to become her vice president? You got to keep them kind of in a good standing, because later on you're gonna have to say, hey, this person is good enough to run with me. And so if you are, say, Kamala Harris, she kind of has to be careful what she says about the other candidates, unless you want to pick someone who's, not necessarily on the debate stage to be your VP. So you got to think about all these things. So that's what I think about in my mind. Someone on January 20th, 2021 is going to become president. That person has to have a vice president pick choice. Okay, so there's 2 slots that need to be filled. Who's going to fill those slots? So I start with that. Who's going to fill those 2 slots? Because those slots are going to be filled, And I go from there. And then, obviously the front runners are right now Trump, obviously, the incumbent president. And then on the Democrat side, you got Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, and Elizabeth Warren. Those are like the 4 main candidates right now, in the polls. And I looked at them the other day, and I thought to myself, I was like, is the United States, because they have all 4 of those people. This chimed to me the other day. All 4 of those people have 2 things in common. All of them are old. Trump, Biden, Sanders, and Warren. They're all old, and they're all white. Okay? And I asked myself, I was like, is the United States going to just elect another old white person for president again? And this is coming from... I'm half white, so don't think, oh, yeah, he's just this racist Mexican or something like that. I'm half white myself, But I look at that stuff, and the reason I look at it, because other people look at it. Okay, people look at race, and I told you, I think this in the last video. People look at race and legend and all kinds of other stuff about the candidates running, and people think about that. People think that, hey, they want someone different than, a white person, or just another old person for president. They maybe want someone younger, or they want, if you're Hispanic, you might want a Hispanic president. If you're black, you might want a black president. If you're gay, you might want a gay president, or something like that, Or they're all straight too, I believe. Yeah. And so, are we just going to get another old, straight, white person as president? The only difference, if Elizabeth Warren would win, is she's female. So that's different. But other than that, she's just another old white person. And I'm like, I don't know. With the changing tides in this country, I don't think so. I just don't think so. I think a lot of people in the United States want something different. Yeah, obviously there is a lot of people in the United States who, because there are a lot of white people. Like I said, if you're... Where'd my dog go? My dog keeps... Oh, there she is. Like I said, if you are Hispanic, maybe you want a Hispanic president. If you're black, you might want a black president, so on and so forth, right? But also, if you're white, you might want a white president, Or if you're male, you might want a male president. If you're female, you might want a female president, right? Okay, so there are a lot of white people in this country, too. There's still the majority. And so there are obviously still a lot of people who wouldn't mind another white president as well, right? Okay, but maybe there are a lot of white people out there. Maybe they're like me. I'm half white. Maybe there's a lot of white people out there who are kind of tired of white presidents too. Maybe they want to give another race or gender or sexuality or a person of another religion a chance. You know, someone who's not. I mean, we've had for basically since this country's founding, we've had this really cookie cutter mold of what a president is. Up until prior to President Obama, every president was male, white, older-ish, 40s and ups. Old, male, white, straight, which is debatable. Maybe some of the presidents weren't straight, and some kind of Protestant, either Christian or Catholic. That's been that. Like I said, up until Obama, that was the cookie cutter mold of what a president is, you know. And then when Obama came, he still fit that mold pretty good. You know, he was in his 40s. He was male. He was tall, and which is another common thing with presidents. Christian. He fit all those cookie cutter mold portions, except the fact that he wasn't white, and he was even half white. Obama's half white, so he almost filled it. People think Obama was this, oh hey, his first black president, his first half black president. He was still white a little bit. Hey, Doug, you're all excited. Why are you all excited? And so, so the question is, are we going to continue with that cookie cutter mold? Are we going to continue with that same thing? And if I had to make a guess, I would say that I don't think we're going to totally veer from it. I think we're going to, whoever is going to be elected, they're going to at least meet one of those things. Like I said, the mold is old, white, Christian, male, or whatever, taller. So, say a female is chosen. Say Tulsa Gabbard, female is chosen, right? Well, she's still white. She's still part white. I think part Samoan or Hawaiian, wherever she is, but she's still part white. So she would still kind of fit the mold, She's not Christian, though. She's Hindu, I believe. So she would kind of break the mold. If she became president, she would break the mold more than anybody. But yeah, if any of the top contenders right now, like I said, Trump, Biden, Warren, or Sanders, if any of them it'd be the same old freaking thing. And I'm not saying that's bad or good, but I think a lot of people just want to change. I really just do think, I can't believe I've been rambling for 12 minutes, 43 seconds, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 milliseconds. Anyhow, but yeah, 413 days, still a while away. I noticed that, I was just going to say that I noticed that a lot of people are still not even, like at my work, I work at a pizza place, and I ask people, I ask people, hey, did you see the debates? You see the debates? Majority of them didn't even see the debates. Some of them didn't even know that there's like an election going on, and it's like, so majority of people aren't even into it. Anyhow, I actually looked up how many people watched the debates, and it was some like 14 million people, and that's not even that many people when you consider that there's some 250 million potential voters and only 14 million people watched. So yeah, there's not even a lot of interest yet, but it's gaining. Somebody's coming behind me, so I gotta go. Bye.